What's good, fam? You know how we do it, man. Back live and direct, live and direct. You know how we fucking do it, man. So yeah, this will be another short one. Just a nice little yap session, as you guys can see. It's just a nice little yap session. I enjoy the yap sessions. I'm gonna be honest. It's like a good way to like end my days. Like I just think of important stuff that I think you guys need to be thinking about and shit. And I'm like, oh wow, let me just talk about this today. It's a great way to end my day. You know what I'm saying? It's good for my psyche. It's good for y'all's psyche. It makes you guys smarter. So that's how I kind of move here. But as I see different stuff during the week, I might have certain stuff or certain interviews or podcasts that I see. I'm like, oh, I really need to break this down. I think I could drag a lot of information out of that. And we'll see, at least during the week. But for now, at least if I have more stuff going on earlier in the day, especially because I'm planning out all this content stuff, because you know what I'm saying? We're really trying to make this fam shit big. So I'm planning out all this stuff for the future and also doing other short form content on the side because it's just me, doing all this shit on my own right now. So obviously time ends up being very, very limited, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real ass nigga. I fuck with that shit. Time's gonna be limited, but we're still gonna make everything work, of course. So as I see different stuff during the week, we'll be able to react to some stuff. But for right now, I'm just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Bare minimum, I want to make sure to get the Yap session in for you guys because I can always say something valuable to you guys every single night. I think that's very powerful and important. You know what I'm saying? We're fast and efficient on this side. So yeah, so, per usual, usually three things that I always tend to make sure that I think of. But one of the things I can instantly already think of is the importance of trusting yourself as a man. You see, as a man, before you can truly trust anybody else, you have to learn to trust yourself. And the reason for this is because you can't control other people. You cannot control what other people do. Even your most loyalist nigga to you right now could betray you or could pass away or something could happen to him, right? So if you're in a position where you trust him to always be there, always be by your side, or always be a certain way, you can easily get betrayed. And if shit goes wrong, you're not going to be prepared to be on your own. You're not going to be prepared to stand on your own 2 feet. I feel like a lot of you guys already watching this would understand that, like, as a man, you got to be able to stand on your own 2 feet already. You know what I'm saying? Like most of you niggas understand that shit already. But I think it's even more important to reflect on the idea of it's very important that I'm able to trust myself. I'm in a position where I can stand on my own, do my own shit, so that regardless of who is in my life or is out of my life, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm still going to get the job done because I trust myself. And if you guys want to know, well, okay, Ali, you're right about that shit, but how can I really trust myself? Because I'm not a nigga who has a lot of trust in myself right now. So how can I get a lot of trust in myself? Well, what you got to do is you have to earn your trust. Everything worth having in life must be earned, and trust is one of those things. If you don't trust yourself, it means that you're not able to keep your word when you say, hey, I'm going to go do this work or I'm going to take care of this thing. You end up not doing those things. So naturally, you learn not to trust yourself because you don't follow your own word, nigga. Like, why the fuck would you trust yourself if you can't even follow forward on the things that you say you're going to do? You're not going to be able to trust yourself. So you have to earn that trust through doing what? By keeping the promises you make to yourself. And it doesn't mean you have to make massive promises. You could start small. Like, I'm going to wake up at this time today. I'm going to go to the gym at this time today. I'm going to drink this amount of water today. I'm going to study for this long today. Very small stuff. It does not have to be crazy. And then you work your way up from there to bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger stuff because you started small. You like earned your trust slowly but surely. And then now you can make those bigger promises to yourself and fulfill those promises, and your trust is going to continue to grow. And then naturally, now you trust yourself. You can stand on your own 2 feet. So now when you choose to trust others and bring other people into your life, right? Whether this be women or it be homies or people who are loyal to you or people who help you build your business, whatever goals you're trying to pursue, when you bring people into your life, you're prepared for them to be there and not be there because you trust yourself to get the work done. You're not overly relying on other niggas getting the job done for you. Because I've seen too many times where men will be over reliant on somebody who's helping them out or doing shit for them. And when that person's gone, they crash out. They're fucked because they weren't prepared to stand on their own 2 feet. And every man must be able to stand on his own 2 feet. So that's just something that I realized. I'm like, look, man, this is ridiculously important for you guys to understand. You got to be able to stand on your own 2 feet because it makes you an inevitable winner. Like nothing, whether people are helping you or not helping you, it doesn't fucking matter. You're going to get the job done because you trust yourself and you've earned the ability to trust yourself by doing the work that you need to do. So yeah, that's a massive one, man. I feel like that's something so underrated. Even just the idea of earning your own trust, like that's just an underrated thing. I think a lot of guys don't really trust themselves. They want to trust themselves, but they don't really understand it. So hopefully that made you realize, like, oh, if I want to trust myself, I got to work on keeping the promises that I make to myself. I got to work on that. I got to make sure every single time I make a promise, okay, I do what I say I'm going to do. And it doesn't have to be big. As I said, it could be very fucking small, guys. It could be super small. And you want it to be small so it's easy, it's actionable, so you can work your way up for it to get harder and harder and harder. But you have the ability now to still act upon how hard it is because you've worked your way up from a smaller point. And the same like when you're in the gym, when you're lifting in the gym. Obviously, you're not going to go instantly to 100 pounds. You're going to start with your 5, then 10, then 20, 25, and then work your way all the way up. So that's just important food for thought. Another thing that I've actually been thinking about a lot, and this is something I say even just a lot across all my socials all the time, but the importance of not letting uncertainty rule your life. You see, in this game of success and wanting to achieve great things in your life, based off whatever goals that you're trying to pursue, you're going to deal with uncertainty. You don't know what's going to happen in the future. Nothing is guaranteed. You can't see in the future. All that exists now is the present. So the way that you combat uncertainty is through effort and sacrifice. It is the only way. It is the only way for you to be able to combat uncertainty is through effort and sacrifice. Since you can't see the future, all you can see is now. And obviously you've seen the past, but you can't control the past anymore because the past is not past. So the only thing you can control is the present, what's going on today. And because you can't see the future, right? You're like, well, I can't see the future and I can't control the past anymore. All I have now is the present. So all I ever can do exists in the present. And it's important to understand inputs is what leads to outputs. Who you are now, what you're doing now, has come from what you were doing a year ago, 2 years ago, a few months ago. You're just a reflection of what that nigga was doing a few years back. That's what you are. If you were doing bum ass shit a year ago, 2 years ago, that's why you're in a shitty situation right fucking now. Because the inputs lead to outputs. It's natural, right? So if you want to put yourself in a good situation, if you want to quell that feeling of uncertainty that we all have for whatever goals we're trying to pursue, you have to put in the work now. You have to put in the effort and sacrifice now. You have to find ways to go harder now. Because what happens when you go harder and you put in more effort and more time and energy towards your goals? Well, you gain more progress. You're able to see more progress. And seeing yourself progress gives you more evidence that, okay, I'm headed in the right direction. Like I'm headed towards my goal. So that quells the uncertainty a lot more. Same thing on the sacrifice end of things, which is the same thing as like, you're putting in more time, but you're also staying away from shit that could distract you from doing the work you need to do. You're cutting off those bum ass niggas from your life. You're not doing drugs or drinking alcohol or smoking weed or doing any of this dumb gay shit. You're not doing any of these things that have nothing to do with your goals and honestly distract you from your goals anymore. You sacrifice these things from your life. You get rid of them. So now you have more time and energy and attention to focus on your goals. And naturally that leads to what? More evidence of your progress, right? You're able to see more progress because you have more time and energy. You're going harder. So naturally more progress is going to end up being present. So what does that do? It quells the uncertainty a lot more. And this is basically the battle you need to have in your mind constantly. Every single time you feel uncertainty, a strong sense of uncertainty, the way you respond is, okay, how much more effort can I put in? Where can I put in more effort? How can I sacrifice more shit? How can I cut off more niggas from my life? How can I say no to more things? Right? You just keep looking for more ways to go harder and give up more things for your goals. Because every single time you do, more progress will be gained. And it's because you can see that more of that progress that the level of uncertainty that you feel will drop significantly, right? So that's kind of the position that I want you guys to be in. I want you guys to not let uncertainty rule your life. I don't want you guys to be worried about the future. I don't even want you guys to want guarantees out of this game, because the only thing that is guaranteed is the present, what you're doing right now, So I want you to constantly have that comfort of understanding that you're going as hard as you possibly can right now because that's all you could have ever done. That's all you could ever do. That's all you could have ever done. That's all it is. It's just what you can do today. So that's where I want your guys' focus to lie. Whenever you feel that uncertainty, put in more effort, sacrifice more things. You'll be able to see more progress and it'll quell the uncertainty a lot more. So yeah, that's kind of how I see that. It's because it's crazy. At least for me, understanding that was game changing for me in my mind. Absolutely game changing because it's hard. It's hard not to feel the uncertainty and the doubt or whatever. It's natural. It's just we just do it as human beings because we're doing things, but we don't know what the outcome's going to be. So as human beings, we have natural doubt. It's a survival mechanism. So, You combat it by, okay, well, I feel uncertain, but I do understand that inputs lead to outputs. So if I just make sure my inputs are better and better and better and better, then the likelihood I get the output is just going to be higher and higher and higher. So I'll feel less uncertainty to the point that it's not like fucking keeping me up at night and making me feel very uncomfortable, because I'm in this position where, okay, I'm quelled. I'm finding ways to go harder and do the shit that I need to do. So yeah, this is kind of how I see that. Because it's just, that's just what it is. It feels good. It feels good to not feel uncertainty. Okay. So there was a third thing here. Let me see. Because even sometimes when I think about a lot of these things, or when I have my Yap sessions, it usually comes from my threads, right? These threads that I post all the time. Do you guys see that? You guys, hold on. From these. Camera, work. Show it. Hold on. Boom. From these threads that I post all the time. This should just really be my thoughts. I mean, threads is kind of gay. Twitter is way better, but Twitter's like not like that. Like posting like success tips and shit like that. Like Twitter's more like you're actually talking with niggas and shit. Like it's way different. Let me see if I can find what I was gonna say. Because I saw this, I was like, oh, because sometimes I'll just go through and reread them. It even helps me too to like remind me of certain stuff, because oftentimes, bro, we need to remember shit more than we need to learn. Like you've heard all the, you know what's funny? You've already heard all the best lessons you've needed to learn in your life. You've heard them. Like many of the lessons you've already needed to be extremely successful, you've already heard them. But the thing is, like, you just forget, or the lessons don't really become real for you yet, right? The like being disciplined, for example, you don't really understand what that means, or being consistent or being focused, you don't really understand what that means, until it's too late for a lot of guys. But since you're watching me here and now, and you're probably a young guy watching this, you're already on a good fucking path. So you're in the right path. You're in the right place, So it ain't shit to worry about for you. You're cooking right now by listening to me. So yeah. Let me see. Yeah, it's just this making me even. There's so many things I could be really talking about here, but I want to see where is the. Yeah, hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Desire. Everything is hard. Yeah. Oh, yup. See, now I got it. So what I actually wanted to talk about too is burnout. Because I've had a lot of guys, especially like through Instagram, talk about how do I avoid burning out, but I don't want to burn out. Like I heard about people burning out. I don't want that to happen to me. I'm like, nigga, you're supposed to burn out. That's the whole point. Because guys will be like, oh, I want to push my limits, bro. I'm going to push my limits. I'm like, nigga, how can you know you're pushing your limits if you never hit your limits? So niggas will be like, I don't want to burn out, but they also want to be able to push their limits and reach their max potential at the same time. I'm like, nigga, you're trying to do two things that are completely opposite. You're trying to not burn out while also push your limits at the same time. It's like trying to look left and right at the same time. You're a dumbass nigga if you're doing that. You head ass nigga, you can't do that. If you want to be efficient, you got to look one way at a time. You can't be trying to look both ways at the same time. Are you stupid? So if you want to be able to push your limits, you have to push your limits. If you want to gain muscle in the gym, for example, you have to want to tear your fucking muscles. You have to push to a failure. It's just funny to me. A lot of guys will understand that in the gym. They'll understand, oh, yeah, I got to push to a failure. But when it comes to the unique work that you got to do for whatever goals you're trying to pursue, it's like, oh, how do I not burn out? I'm like, nigga, that's the point. You're supposed to be doing as much work as possible until you can't work anymore. Because what happens after you burn out? You get stronger, both physically and mentally, for whatever goals you're trying to pursue. You get way stronger. Just like in the gym, when you lift to failure all the fucking time and your muscles are destroyed, they grow back stronger. The same happens with whatever activities you're working on for whatever goals you're trying to pursue. You should be burning out. You should be trying to do as much work as you possibly can in a day, every single day. Because what happens is your threshold for work just continues to increase more and more and more and more and more and more. Like you're going to be able to handle more. Always. Your mind grows and your body grows. So you should never be in a position where you're scared to burn out. You should want to burn out. You should beg to burn out. You should be going so hard and just keep going hard until you can't go hard anymore. You want to be hitting that burnout, because what happens is you recover from the burnout and then you're able to go hard again, right? And you do this in a cycle again and again and again and again. And then your threshold for effort is insane now. Like some guy out there, his max effort becomes like your bare minimum. You're like not even trying. Becomes a guy who's currently out there, that's his max, right? Just like in the gym, there's some guy who, whatever your bench press is, for example, there's a guy, your max bench press is somebody's like casual warm up. Well, why is it like that? Because he kept training towards failure over and over and over again till he got so strong that obviously your max is nothing compared to him now. It's like a warm up for him. The same is true for whatever goals you're working towards, for the nature of the work that you're doing, for whatever goals, whether you're an athlete, whether you're a content creator, a musician, a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, whatever it is, whatever your profession is, like there's just work you need to do, and you can burn out from that work if you're doing it as much as you possibly can. And I want you guys to burn out. I want you guys to actually push your limits. How do you know you're pushing your limits if you never reach a limit? Right? So yeah, the goal is to burn out. You want to burn out. Beg for the burnout. You want to feel the burnout. You want to know you're burning out. You're like, oh, yeah, this is horrible. Man, I'm so fucking tired, but I'm still working. You want to feel that. I'm telling you, your mind expands. It grows. And so many guys underrate the mind in that way. So many guys do, bro. So, yeah, make sure you're burning out, bro. It's worth it. Your mind will grow. Your body will grow. You'll be able to handle more and more and more. You'll get stronger and stronger and stronger indefinitely. This is how men have always pushed their limits throughout time. So, yeah, man. Those were kind of the three main things, I wanted to talk about. I feel like all those things, like, anyway, just all the things I be saying the coldest shit. I'll be honest. Like, I'll be saying the coldest shit, bro. But all of this shit, like, it's game changing. The being able to trust yourself, the fighting uncertainty through effort and sacrifice, and of course, to doing whatever it takes to burn out, because that's the only way to get stronger. Because, like, even just think about all these things. You've earned your trust. You've earned your own trust because you keep your promises. Whenever you feel uncertainty or doubt about the future, you put in more effort and sacrifice more things, which allows you to see more progress, which quells the doubt and uncertainty. And you're pushing yourself as hard as possible. And it's good that this directly connects to quelling that doubt. Like, to quell that doubt, you basically have to burn out. You have to be burning yourself out to make sure you can quell that doubt, so you know that, hey, I'm doing everything I possibly can. I'm doing everything I possibly can to win. And that's the best feeling to have. God will always reward you for some shit like that too. And also, as I always say, everything worth having in life must be worked for. So if you're constantly willing to burn yourself out over and over and over again, like, your success is quite honestly inevitable. So yeah, man. That's my little spiel for tonight. You know what I'm saying? Hope you guys fucked with that shit. I love giving my little yap session, my little sermon here. And if you guys just ingrain all these things that I've said, I'm telling you, like, you become a demon, bro. It gets fucking crazy. Not like a leftist type demon, not like a trans type demon. Them niggas, hell nah. But like a true winner, somebody who's gonna win no matter what. So yeah, man. Yeah. So that's the stream. Nice little quick one. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. Either you guys are gonna get another Yap session, or I might have something that I want us to react to tomorrow. One of the two. But either way, we're going to cook super hard because that's what we do over here at the FYAM, man. So, yeah, man. All right, cool. So, I'm going to catch you boys tomorrow, probably around this same time or later. It's 9 p.m. Eastern time for me. I'll probably go around like 7 or 6 tomorrow. We'll see based off my schedule. But, yeah, whatever it is, we're going to make that shit work. So, all right. Peace out, y'all. Love y'all.